So is it possible to really shred without having access to a gym or weight training?
It is possible. It's not the best way of going about things. So you can use, at the same time, you need to overstimulate your muscles or get some progressive overload onto your muscles. Now you can do that using volume of body weight work or using weights. For the first 2 months, I can make you do body weight work, right? And that's what I generally start starters off, like people who are just starting. 2 months of body weight work. Eventually, your body is going to be so efficient with handling its own body weight that I'll have to add so much volume that you're only working out the whole day to produce new stimulation, right? Because your muscles will be efficient enough to go through those movements. So that's when you need weights to come into the picture. So weights can either be at home or at a gym. Yeah. So buy a pair of adjustable dumbbells that will last you 4 to 6 months. You'll see progress till then. Then add more. Of course, you can use tempo, you can use this, but the easiest thing is to progress in weights, right? That's the easiest marker to measure, or go to the gym, right? So beginners, generally, I see them, the first 2 months, I start them off with body weight work, but eventually I need them to load with some weight because otherwise they'll only be working out all day, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And ideally, how much time would you think someone should be working out in a week?
Okay. To see actual progress, first of all, you need to be working out at least 45 minutes to an hour, right? To get into enough of a caloric burn. Everything is a function of burning enough calories, right? Doing a 20-minute HIIT session is going to do nothing for you.
Thank you for saying that.
Like nothing.
Yeah.
Right? People say HIIT gives you an afterburn.
Yeah.
It's 3 to 4%.
I was just going to say
bullshit, right? Follow a structured program that's going to be progressively overloading your body or muscles in a particular way. At least 45 minutes to an hour, right? Because then you're burning enough calories, you're stimulating your muscle, you're breaking down enough muscle fiber, you're exhausting your muscles enough that it needs that rest to recover and build, etc., etc. And at least 4 to 5 times a week, right? Again, to build enough of a deficit. Otherwise, you're not going to get into that enough of a deficit if you're working out only 2-3 times a week, right? It's going to barely be anything.
What should that deficit be? Like something not too aggressive, I assume?
Nothing. So if you go too aggressive with a deficit, you're going to get hormonal problems.
Okay.
Right? That if you undernourish your body. If you're not getting enough carbs, you're not getting enough protein or fiber or fats or whatever, your body will respond. So you calculate your maintenance and go maybe 200 to 300 calories as a deficit and let that build over time. Right? On those 3 days you're not working out and you're eating extra, fine, stay at maintenance. You're still in a deficit 4 days. You'll take a week extra to lose that inch.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, and there's not a competition time-based thing. It's a long-term
it's a long-term thing. So everything is sustainability, right? That's why I'm against, don't want to deep dive into it, but why I'm against keto, why I'm against intermittent fasting, why I'm against...
I'd love to talk about this.
Oh, dude, we'll be here for hours. Why I'm against all these things is because it's not something you can do for the rest of your life, right? Nutrition to me needs to be all-inclusive. The moment you have a condition of exclusion, whatever be that condition of exclusion, timing, types of food, blah, 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 don't eat this, don't eat that, don't eat this at this time, don't eat fruit, blah, blah, blah. The moment you have a condition of exclusion, you're developing a bad relationship with food, right there. You should never feel guilty for having eaten something or eaten something at a particular time.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's the main thing I try to instill in people. Because, dude, I've gone through extremes of it. I've gone from being super obese to, not super obese, but let's say on the chubbier side, to I've gone down to 5.9% body fat.
Damn.
Before I wanted to go for Tomorrowland, I was at 5. Of course, these machines are shit.
How is your mental state when you're at that?
Exactly. Shit. Body dysmorphia and everything is hard, right? So you never want to get into something that's unsustainable. And I did it because I wanted to go for Tomorrowland. I wanted to fucking be ripped. But I knew I need to get back to this because it's not a sustainable life, right? So you get into a place where you're okay eating everything, you want to enjoy everything you're eating, understand how to take advantage of it, and you're in a good place.
To me, IF though, I've done intermittent fasting long term for years. So I've been off IF for the last couple of months now. But to me, for me, IF is just better mental state.
Okay. So my problem with IF is not the concept of IF. I have no problem with people fasting. what are you doing at the end of the day with fasting? Forcing yourself into a deficit, right? Giving yourself a shorter window to eat. My problem with IF for people is you're dependent on a new variable, which is a clock.
Fair.
And that's what bugs me about IF.
To me, the good thing about IF was a complete lifestyle choice, not a fitness hack for 2 months or 3 months.
If that is what you can do, as long as it's sustainable and it fits your lifestyle, to me, for everyone who comes to me, your lifestyle comes first.
Yeah.
Let's optimize everything around it to get to your goals. Right?
And that's the only way it can be long term, right?
Exactly. Right. So you're okay IF. You're not I'm not a breakfast person. Right. I'm nocturnal. I get up. I'm not a breakfast person, and so by default, some days I'm an IF, some days I'm not. I listen to my body as a marker, which is what I prefer for people, rather than being dependent on a new variable, especially when it's newcomers, right? I don't want to tell them, hey, you can't eat till 12 p.m. Hey, don't eat after 8 p.m.
Oh yeah, I would never suggest IF as one of those quick hack tools.
That is my issue with this whole thing of having a time window, because you're introducing a new variable which is not a sustainable way of life. You can hack IF on your own where, hey, I'm okay not eating, my body doesn't need the food, my gut feels better, I'm feeling more energetic. Hell yeah, whatever works for you.
My heaviest workouts, everything is on IF.
Perfect. So as long as you have that energy and all, and it works for you, that's what I'm not I'm not averse to the concept of fasting. I'm averse to the concept of adding a new variable which will make it tougher for you to live your life.
Yeah.
Right, especially for new people. If anyways they have to make so many changes.
I had a very simple rule about IF. I'm not starving myself. If I'm going to feel hungry, I'm going to eat.
So another thing, right? When it comes to people who, suppose you get up in the morning at 10. You've not eaten since 8 p.m. the previous night, right? You still don't eat for the next 2-3 hours. Your body needs energy, right? A lot of times it's going to eat into muscle for energy, which is reducing your metabolism.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't want to get into this. As soon as you're feeling hungry, do not starve yourself. That's my only thing. Don't starve yourself because you're waiting for a clock to tell you when to eat.